Hi everybody, I'm Laura. Welcome to my channel. We are going to be creating a necklace from the March bargain bead box, which is the Art Deco Luxe. This is like from the Roaring 20s, and the ladies were, the flapper era, and the ladies wore a lot of the greens and the blacks and the golds and the pearls, and I loved the headdresses from that era and the headbands and the cha-cha kind of jewelry that dangled and kind of shimmered and shook when they moved. That whole thing, just I've always liked it. um I'm going to be bringing in a few things from my stash for this necklace, but I am going to go ahead and use the some of the um, brass oval jewelry chain, which is lead-free, nickel-free, and cadmium-free. And I am also going to be using some of the 3.5 by 6 millimeter hematite coated chevron beads. Now these are a single hold bead. I'm going to be using a few of those. And I'm also bringing in some of my own gold head pins, some jump rings, and I'm torn between using the hematite faceted AB rounds, or if I'm going to be using these. I think I'm going to be using these. I'm just going to go with the flow as I get going. Now, Bargain Bead Box is a monthly subscription service, and for $19.49, it is shipped to your door. And you get all kinds of stuff. If you've seen my tutorials that are listed, you'll see that you get all kinds of different things each month. Plus, when you join, you get 30% off coupon that gets you, when you shop in their sister store, you get such a huge bargain to begin with, you're going to get even more off, and you can use that coupon all month long. So I'm also bringing in a bunch of these little bitty gold beads to go along. They match this chain pretty good. The ones that were in there were a little too big for what I wanted to do. So what I'm going to do is just give you an idea of what I'm doing. So what I'm simply going to do is I'm going to be taking some of these. I'm going to be doing 2 sets of 3 and then a set of 4 on each side. So there's 2. And then in the center, it's going to be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the gold beads in between. And then between that, there's going to be a length of just chain that will be hanging from the necklace. So we're going to go ahead and get this assembled, which is very easy. I'm going to take a head pin. I'm going to add on a chevron piece, a gold bead, a chevron, another gold bead, a chevron, and one more gold bead. Just like that. I'm going to make just a simple loop. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to bend this 90 degrees. I'm going to clip the majority of this off because I don't need all of that. And I'm just going to roll this, keeping it flush with the end of my pliers. I'm just going to roll this loop to where it meets that bead. And then make sure it's closed. As you can see, my fingers let it slip up, so I'm going to continue to make that rolled loop, closing it. Just like that. And I'm going to do that with each of these. This next one will be 4. Chevron, gold bead, chevron, gold bead, chevron, gold bead, chevron, and one more gold bead. So this one will be 4. And I probably should have made sure my pin was straight, but it looks straight, so we're going to go ahead. Again, I'm just going to bend this with my finger. It bends really easy, so clip that off. Create another rolled loop. Oops. Just like that. And then I'm going to do this one more time. I'm going to do the one with the 5, so we're going to go chevron, gold bead, chevron, gold bead, chevron, gold bead, chevron, gold bead, chevron. Get a hold of that. Gold bead. I'm going to fold it over. Don't need quite that much. Clip off the excess. And, whoops, creating a rolled loop. And making sure that loop is closed. It's wanting to roll away from me. So there we have that. I'm going to pause you and go ahead and do the other 2. Okay, so what you see here is I have 3, 4, 5, 4, and 3, and that's how it's going to be laid out on the necklace. And in between each one is going to be a length of chain, just chain dangling down. And what I want is for it to come kind of like a cascade waterfall kind of thing between. But there is going to be like a small jump ring holding the chain on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this piece of chain. Well, let me do this. Right about, I'd say here. Nope, a little higher. So that it's longer than the piece ahead of it, between the 3 and the 4. So I'm going to cut it so that I'm not cutting the link I'm through, but I'm cutting the link right after. So I'm going to hold this out. I'm going to come in with my pliers. I'm going to cut the very next link. Just like that. I'm going to take this piece of chain. I'm going to slide this on. And then I'm going to use this to guide me to where to cut this next piece of chain. Now, I have a really hard time doing this, guys. So, and I've already dropped it. So, let's try this again. We're going to cut this link right here. Let's see how I did. Perfect. Okay, so there's those 2. And the next one, I want to cut it so it's a couple of links longer. So I'm leaving one on, and I'm just going to put the next piece of chain on. And I'm going to hold it up. or out, however I want to do this. Just getting my fingers to cooperate. And there is the end. And I want to come down probably about here and cut that link. And let's see. Looks like I cut it at the right spot. So let's go ahead and cut another one. So I'm actually cutting 4 pieces of chain to go between the 5 lengths of the chevron. So again, I'm going to cut that off. There we are. So there we have those 2 pieces and these 2 pieces right here. So we're going to get this out of our way for right now. And I was debating on whether I was going to string these or if I was going to put this all on gold chain. And I'm still debating. I'm this close to being done, and I'm debating on whether to hook this all on onto gold chain or if I'm going to do this a stringing. You know what? A lot of people are just going to do this onto a string project. How about if I just do a gold chain project? I think I'm going to do this on gold chain. Okay, everybody. As you can see, I've made some changes. I was really struggling getting everything on that tiny chain. So what I decided to do was go ahead and use some 7-strand beading wire, and I'm just going to go ahead and continue to bead. I'm going to go ahead and put on just what I have here. I'm using the, this is the finely faceted hematite AB rounds. I'm putting on one of them. Yeah, this is the thing with designing on the fly. You can make all these changes as you go. And then I'm going to put on the longer of the 4 chains, another hematite round. I love these. These are so shiny. And then I'm going to put on the one with the 4. Another hematite round. And then the chain, the shorter of the chains. Another hematite round. The one with the 3. If I can see what I'm doing. So that now we are mirrored on all of that. And then we're going to finish this pattern, which is a hematite round, a gold spacer bead, a hematite round, a gold spacer bead, a hematite round, so there'll be 3 of them, get it to get on there, a gold spacer bead, and then I am going to use one of these 10mm barrel beads. These are gorgeous. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to use another gold spacer bead. Another hematite. And another gold spacer bead. And look at that. That is so pretty. And now I'm going to take and add a clamshell. I struggled to get these on earlier too. There we go. Yes, I know it is silver, but you do with what you've got. And mixing metals is not all that bad. And it's not a bright silver, so it's not going to affect it all that much. I'm going to put on a crimp tube. I'm going to let it fall right down inside of that spacer or the clamshell. I'm going to let these all kind of dangle. I want them to have movement, but I don't want to have a lot of space. I am going to probably reach in with my needle nose pliers. Have to make sure that, because there's quite a difference in, you know, coming up into this big barrel bead. But I want them to be loose and fluidy. Go reach in there. I'm just going to squash that crimp bead. If I get a hold of him, I may have to straighten this out a little more. Squish, squish the crimp bead. I'm going to pull, and it slid. So my crimp was not tight enough. And start over. I don't know if it's allergies starting up already. Isn't it crazy? This weather. And try again. And it is, yay! So I'm going to go ahead and close my crimp, or my clamshell. Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and trim my wire. I really need to get new clippers. They are so dull. Just like that. So we have this piece done. That's how that looks. And we are just going to go ahead, use jump rings, and we are going to fasten it to a length of chain. I'll pause you a second. Okay, so here's our focal, and I'm just going to take and pick up one of these, and we're going to go ahead and open it. Don't use those, that'll be cutting it instead. I'm going to close this up. And I'm going to do the same on this side. Sorry about bumping that. And then I'm going to find the center. And clip. And I'm going to get my jump ring and my lobster clasp. I'm going to put, let's use a small jump ring on this end. Hook my lobster on. Close that up. My main problem is I go cross-eyed and then I can't see whether or not I've got it closed right. And then I will take this one. I don't know if this will fit through that skinny little chain, but we're going to try it. Just pop it up just a hair. I may not have it open far enough because it looks like it should go right over it. And it's just a bit too big. So I'm just going to pop this over this, close it up. Seems I already have it open. Then go ahead and use this jump ring to put it on a chain. That was so close. It wanted to go over it, it just would not go. There we go. And close it up. And get this all back out of the way. And there it is. Give it just a little bit of a shake. So there's how this turned out. I absolutely love how it looks. So there is this project. I know I have the chain falling between my fingers, guys. Anyhow, I will take some pictures and put it at the end of the video. And thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to all of you guys down in the comments below. Bye, everybody.